Hey guys, this is Aegis, and this is going to be the quarterfinal of the American Pro League Season 1. This is going to be Callus playing as the blue Zerg player versus Heaven on Earth playing as the purple Zerg player. This is going to be Tal'Darim Alter LE. This is the Blizzard version of the map, so there are the rocks at the third base, and there are 2 gases available for taking at that third base as well. And yet, there we go. Here is Callus gonna be playing for, oh dear, I think it's Relentless Heroes over here. Callus playing for Team Relentless Heroes on the top left-hand corner side, and over here in the bottom left-hand corner, we do have Heaven on Earth playing for Chaos Theory. So we'll see what these Zerg players pull out of their bag of tricks today. Of course, this is game 1, so we'll see if which team can bring the momentum to their team, which player can bring the momentum to their team. Of course, let's take a look at the name badges as well as the production tab so I don't miss anything going down. Neither player has gone for that extractor trick, so usually I do see that. No matter what. So there we go, having the gas getting taken right now, and there's the extractor trick going down for Callus. And on the other side, nothing of that sort from Heaven on Earth. He does have his Overlord out already, getting a couple additional drones going to be popping out just right now. Specs are not allowed to lag. And there we go, we're back into this game. Player did get to drop, and Callus over here continuing to make a couple of drones, and it looks like our player who has left the game will be relegated to watching the stream. Hopefully it's a pretty good stream. And we do have additional drones continuing to pop out, and both players scouting around the map with their overlords. We'll see which player finds the other first, and we do have a drone now moving out. We'll see if he decides to be taking his base, and it looks like he will be taking the natural expansion in just a second. There's the natural expansion popping up for both players, actually. So both players doing a very similar build heading towards the late game. We'll see who is able to drone hard enough without actually risking too much. And whoever is able to do that will be able to take this game, most likely. And a spawning pool is on the way for Heaven on Earth and for Callus right now. So both players throwing down that pool at a pretty late time. Both players getting up plenty of drones before throwing that down. And this drone over here checking to see if there are any sort of spine crawlers within the confines of his base, making sure he doesn't get cheesed. And there's that drone going to be scouting around over here, going to be checking everything out. I don't think Heaven on Earth has actually scouted his opponent yet. Yeah, he still has his Overlord sort of scooting out. This is kind of dangerous because he doesn't really know what kind of build his opponent is going for. So he's going to need to do something to scout that in the near future, or he may die to any sort of pressure that could be coming out. But of course, from our see-all point of view, we know that nothing of that sort is on the way. 4 Zerglings on the way for Heaven on Earth now, going to be sending 2 larvae on that, additional 2 additional Zerglings now popping out for him as well. Queen's on the way and a Roachworn coming up, so those Zerglings will be able to scout around on the map to see what is going on. Another set is about to finish as well at the natural expansion. The metabolic boost upgrade is on the way for Heaven on Earth. 2 queens on the way for Callus. 1 at the natural expansion and 1 finishing in the main. No speed on the way as of yet. He doesn't have enough money for that. He will soon. A couple of Zerglings out on the field for Callus. It looks like the queen does pop out and will be able to prevent those Zerglings from running in and doing too much damage. Looks like there is a Zergling advantage for Heaven on Earth. His Zerglings do actually get picked off when a few extra ones popped out for Callus over there. And both players continuing to make drones. 4 drones for Callus and 3 additional drones for Heaven on Earth. Looks like the Zergling speed will be finished for Heaven on Earth first. so he will be able to do additional harassment. Zergling's continuing to scoot around the map. Looks like that Queen will be able to pick away at that last Zergling. Going to be running into the main base of Callus to see everything that is going on. And looks like that Zergling does finally go down. Heaven on Earth here, now mining from his natural expansion. Additional 7 drones on the way for both players. And another Queen is now finishing up for Heaven on Earth somewhere. Or actually looking in the wrong place. I bet that was Callus. Both players have pretty similar colors here. An evolution chamber and a Roach Warren on the way for Callus to be able to wall this area off to prevent those speedlings from being able to run in there. And both players generally doing similar things right now, so a little bit of what the American Pro League has been this season. We've played a round of 32 for 3 weeks in group stages, and we did play a round of 16, of course, and then we're finally here in the quarterfinal. All of the teams here are very strong teams. 2 gases coming up for Heaven on Earth, and let's see. A Spinecrawler is coming up for Callus as well. This is interesting because I don't know if he actually has seen much over here. Maybe he's just wanting that for a little bit of protection, just in case of any big push, but mainly we're just seeing drones from both players as of the moment. The rocks over here are getting picked apart by those Zerglings so that he can take a 3rd base. A lair is on the way for both players as well. And actually going to be shooting at one of his roaches there, going to be testing the hide of that roach, going to make sure that his hide is properly constructed. The evolution chamber is currently researching the missile attacks level 1, so he will be ahead in terms of upgrades here in just a moment. He also has his, let's see, where's that infestation pit on the way for Heaven on Earth. So he's going to be also picking apart his rocks at the 3rd base. The rocks are almost down, now for Callus. So he should be able to grab that base real soon. Both players still hanging back, just making a few roaches at a time. Both players getting the missile attacks, the +1. 7 roaches on the way for Heaven on Earth, so maybe he's going to be hitting some sort of +1 attack timing while taking his 3rd base. We'll see what he decides to do. Also, the Glial Reconstitution on the way for our purple Zerg player. 7 more roaches now popping out. So that's a lot of roaches out in the field right now. There is a drone headed over to take that base, but he doesn't actually have enough money to do it as of yet. He should be pulling those units back. Maybe he's going to be doing that attack. Additional roaches on the way for our blue Zerg player. Also the infestation pit coming up. That Overlord is in a very precarious position there. PT Selbon has left the game undoubtedly enraged at what's going on in this game. The 3rd hatch now coming up at for Heaven on Earth. Looks like he's going to be grabbing that ahead of Callus, so Callus is going to be behind 1 base if he does not take that anytime soon. The pathogen glands have finished for those infestors ahead of the infestors for Heaven on Earth, so he will have the fungal growth as soon as those infestors pop out, and he may decide to push off of this. We'll see what he decides to do in just a second. His Glial Reconstitution has also finished, and speed roaches are always better than regular roaches. 1 Overlord going down just now, and the 3rd base being taken, so he's going to be down some money. Heaven on Earth actually has a supply advantage, and he also has a slight drone advantage. He even has the roach advantage and the infestor advantage, so as of this point he's doing quite well for himself, getting Zerg missile attacks +2. Infestors coming out onto the field as well. A couple of infestors here gathering up plenty of energy. He could do a push here and possibly try to end the game. And some additional lagging going on. Dark Blue RH has left the game, so they will be joining us on stream hopefully. So we have additional roaches advancing across the field now. Additional drones being produced by Callus. And here we go. This is going to be the first push from our purple Zerg player. His infestors are not available for this attack, so we'll see how much damage these roaches are going to be able to do. Their +1 attack advantage has been removed because our blue Zerg player has finished his +1, so he was unable to hit that attack timing. Oh no, the infestors all getting caught out of position. Looks like a couple of drones also getting caught out of position, gonna get killed off, and it looks like Heaven on Earth is gonna be running away with his roaches as soon as Callus pops back in. Heaven on Earth getting additional lead here, 139 food to 127. More infestors on the way, so he will be able to use those in battle real soon. He has 5 infestors here, and he was able to pick off a couple of infestors there, so that's a very good deal there. Only 1 infestor left for Callus as of the moment. He's only now getting his 3rd base up and running, whereas Heaven on Earth has been mining from this location for a longer period of time. Hydralisks on the way. That's very interesting from Heaven on Earth. Hydralisks are very vulnerable to that fungal growth from the infestor, so we'll see how he decides to use those Hydralisks in this battle. In this upcoming battle, we have Burrow on the way for Callus, is going to force a couple of Overseers out from Heaven on Earth. And looks like both players are content to sit back for the moment. Possibly wait for some of these upgrades. The pneumatized carapace on for the Overlord's going to be coming out for Callus. One Overlord over here pooping at himself, being scared of this game. And we've got this 4th base up and running for Callus, a little larva vomit going down, so he will be able to utilize that real soon. A couple of Hydralisks out on the field, and 8 additional Hydralisks out on the field as well, so we'll see if he decides to push off of this and do some damage, because those Hydralisks are just kind of hanging out there now, and as more infestors hit the field, those Hydralisks will become nullified. Heaven on Earth now moving out across the field, going to be joining with some infestors this time. We'll see how much damage he's able to do. A couple of burrowed infestors are moving out into the field for Callus. He's also reaching max food. Heaven on Earth already maxed out at a 200 food. The roaches are popping up over here, going to be running towards that 3rd base. A couple of roaches trying to swing around the backside. The Hydralisks also joining in battle. We'll see how this goes. There's one queen up at the front. She's going to go down really quickly. And the +1 carapace on the way for Heaven on Earth. A couple of roaches going to be swinging to the backside. The infestors throwing down plenty of fungal growths. And also a couple of infestor Terrans going down. And fungal growths going down on the infestors as well. Looks like Callus's army has been cleaned up. But there's a few more roaches over here. But the Hydras and the roaches running forth. There's still a few fungal growths left over here, and the Hydras are actually dealing plenty of damage to those roaches, and all of those roaches getting cleaned up. The Hydras with plenty of DPS to go around. This 3rd base is going down, and Heaven on Earth with 190 food is going to be able to take that base out. Is going to put our blue Zerg player very far behind. A couple more infestors over here. We'll see how much damage they're able to do, throwing down the fungal growth on all of the Hydralisks as well as the roaches, but it looks like it's just not going to be enough with additional reinforcements just pouring out across the field. Plenty of roaches going to be streaming in, and this army from Heaven on Earth is still charging forth. They have infestors over here, just don't have enough energy. Looks like a GG from Callus, and Heaven on Earth takes the first game for Chaos Theory.